Welcome to the Midnight Gaming Council. My name is Patters, and here with me tonight on tonight's episode is Brad Sweet. How you going, man?
Yeah, good. Yet again, I'm here.
Yes, you are. It's great to have you here once again. It's being summoned on the Gaming Council, and the topic tonight of course. Appropriately, you're here because actually you have more experience than I do for tonight's topic, which is the Nintendo Switch. And it's we're on the eve of the anniversary of its release, especially here in Australia. I think it was a worldwide release anyway, the Switch. I will look that up right now. But yeah, the 3rd of March it was released last year, and I don't know how many titles they had at launch, about 5 or 6 games.
Yeah, Zelda being the major one, Breath of the Wild.
Yes, Zelda Breath of the Wild, which was delayed for a while.
Yeah.
It was supposed to come out in the Wii U initially,
yes.
But it eventually came out on the Switch, finally, to much fanfare and critical acclaim. I haven't played the game, so I don't know how good it is, but you have played. You have the game, yes?
I have the game. I downloaded it when I bought my Switch. I didn't actually buy a retail copy.
Okay, so you purchased the digital
through the Nintendo eShop. So I downloaded it, played it, loved it. Put about 40 odd hours or more into it, and
decent.
Got stuck at a certain point, and I haven't really played it much since because I've been busy here and there, and other games have come out. And
other games,
then
other
your focus
consoles
goes elsewhere, and then you forget about it, and you're like, I should go back and
finish that.
Should go back and put a few more hours in, maybe finish it. But
so the game was so the console was released on worldwide on March the 3rd, which is tomorrow, and it cost $550 launch, I think, which is quite pricey, to be honest. Compared to the other consoles that were released at the time, but it's come down in price recently a little bit. But regardless, so the main talking point of the Switch, I guess, and why it's called the Switch, is you can switch how you play it around. So it can be a portable, it can be a console, it can be both. Yeah. It could be a tabletop. For those watching, as you can see here, we have it in its tabletop mode. Yep. Yes, nothing's on at the moment, but tabletop mode's handy if you're playing certain games with mates. You don't have a TV. It's like,
it's probably recommended if you are playing in tabletop mode that you actually take the Joy-Cons off, because that does help instead of just
yes. So
if you want to sit back a little bit.
Well, you want to use your Joy-Cons, or you don't have to. There are many other controllers you can use for the Switch.
Pro controller.
The holder. You can use whatever the game requires, I guess.
Unfortunately, you can't use a wired controller when it's in
this sort of mode. Because the
USB plugged into the dock.
On the bottom. So the whole topic of tonight is the Switch and how it's done in its first year, I guess. So let's start with games, I guess. We already touched on one of the launch titles. Some of the other launch titles I remember was Bomberman.
Yeah, that's right. That didn't take too long to come out after Zelda. So that was probably, I think, the second title that I got.
Okay, yeah. And did you buy that? You buy that physical, did you?
No, digitally. Yep. As well.
1-2 Switch as well was another one.
Don't talk about 1-2 Switch, it's fucking garbage.
Just quietly, 1-2 Switch was it should have just been packaged with the Switch
for free. Yeah. This is a demo of what it can do. That's it.
Well, exactly right. It shows off what it does. Like the other. Actually, to be fair, the Xbox One and the PS4 don't come with demo discs. But back in the day, consoles did.
Yeah, they did.
No, Nintendo 64 didn't. That's a bit different. You can't really have it. Regardless, there were demo discs for the PS1, PS2, and whatnot.
Original Xbox.
Yes, the original Xbox did, absolutely. Maybe in magazines and stuff for the 360 and PS3 era there was. But
remember OXM Australia, which is official Xbox magazine? They used to bring out demo discs.
Yeah.
And that'd come with the magazine, you chuck them in your console and play.
Yeah, and have different games on there and videos, and it was the same with PlayStation. Yeah, I've got a whole stack of demo discs. Demo discs are great, but I guess these days, because you got online, like the online shop, you can download, if they're available,
free demo.
Download demos. Yes, exactly. Free demo. Which 1-2 Switch should have been. Yes, exactly. Despite that, though, I'm just looking at the sales figures here for some of the games. 1-2 Switch sold 1.5 million copies.
And that was because it was boxed with the game, like the console, was it? Or
there was probably bundles, I guess.
Yeah, because I got the same bundle with 1-2 Switch.
Okay.
And I wish I didn't. I wish I waited and just got the Zelda bundle.
Yeah, that would have been better. Yeah. Or even another game. anything other than 1-2 Switch, surely, because like those games, like, you can't really play them by yourself. They get tired after a while, and like, yeah, it's cool to show off with a mate or play a bit, but you want to play real games. This is a real console. Like,
I remember playing 1-2 Switch with my girlfriend, and by the first half an hour, we just hated it. And that was it.
Does not surprise me.
Never played again.
Better off just.
So why are we playing this? Oh,
because there's nothing else. It's either that, Bomberman, or Zelda.
Yeah.
So that was like the first month or so, like off memory.
Yeah, that's right.
When did you get your Switch though? Because you didn't get yours at launch.
No, I got mine
A couple of months after?
2 or 3 months after.
It wasn't that long after. It was about the time Mario Kart got released. Which
yeah,
was
I think that's way too long for Mario Kart.
Yeah. No, I think it was one of the first titles.
I think I waited like maybe 1 or 2 months, which wasn't too bad.
That's alright. Pretty much in the launch window.
Zelda tied me over for those few months.
Yeah, until other games came, which they did actually quickly enough. So within the first year, you've already got some big name titles coming out. So apart from Zelda and Mario Kart, obviously, which isn't a brand new Mario Kart, but still, it's a repackaged and it's the ultimate edition of Mario Kart 8 with better graphics and whatnot.
Yeah.
You also had ARMS come out from Nintendo.
I love that.
And how is my ARMS actually?
I haven't played online, but I've just played like a couple of games just against the AI, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
The AI is a bit easy, but I don't know if it gets harder as I progress through. But I never really played it enough to say that.
Yeah, so you have like the end boss is like really difficult and rage worthy.
It's a game that, I'll be honest, didn't grab me, and I ended up getting it when it was a bit cheaper. I didn't get it like at launch. I waited a bit, and then I got it, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll see what it's like, because it's an exclusive, and there was a bit of hype around it and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, okay, and yeah, I can see the appeal, but it's not my kind of game. I'll be honest.
Well, 1.5 million people would disagree with you apparently, because that's how many it sold. Which I think is because there probably wasn't much out, and there is a bit of hype around. It's like, hey, Nintendo made a fighting game. Kind of like with Splatoon, how they made a shooter. So.
Oh, you know what? I'll just detach my arm and punch someone in the face that disagrees with my argument that ARMS isn't that great.
Oh yes, you're perfectly entitled to do that, and I'm sure they would run away at the sight of your fist. Anything else? Let's see. So there's a few remasters that have come out, like Pokken Tournament as well came out. I'm not sure when exactly that came out, but regardless. Skyrim was another one.
Yep.
Which I mean, how old's that game now? Fucking 6, 7
years. There's been that many different releases, and there's VR, then there's the
special edition,
the
remastered edition, the expansions, the original edition, the PS3 version, the PS4 version, like
PC version.
PC, exactly.
I got the PC version.
Was that the first version you got?
Yes, and then I ended up, because I bought it through Steam, I ended up buying all the DLC for it, and then I got the special edition for nothing.
Yes, you upgraded to that, which is basically like the version everyone's got now, except if you're a Switch owner, which you just have the base version. I don't even think this version comes with any DLC. Surely it should.
It should.
I'll look that up quickly. But
that'd be interesting.
Skyrim, Switch, DLC.
There is Midnight Gaming Dog.
For those of you who listen to the program, I'm sure you have heard the barking dog when we're at Brad's house. Yeah. And he just wants to talk about Skyrim, obviously. So, someone's just asked here, I'll load that up, and we'll talk. Since we're on the topic of games, let's find out what else is here to talk about. What stands out? Bam! Rayman Legends, another remaster. This one we played with our mate who also had a Switch. Puyo Tetris. Which is like a Candy Crush / I don't know, just some garbage.
I couldn't be bothered buying that game.
I
know it was early release as well.
It was
early release, but
people were desperate for a title, but no, not for like $60 or whatever too.
I'm not paying $60 for Tetris.
No,
I'll download it for free on my phone.
Well, that's it, right? Tetris has been around for like 20 years, come on, 30 years, whatever. Anyway, Doom was a surprise release, I must say. Have you seen it running on the Switch?
Yeah, I have. I've seen it on
portable mode or dock mode. Or
portable mode.
I must say it's
shown to me by Darren Remain.
Yes, who had the Switch.
Yeah.
He actually got his on launch.
Yep.
But Doom was quite impressive, and it'll be nice to see more games like that come out for the Switch, because the fact that you can have a portable sort of console with a quality title like Doom, which is a fairly recent release. Yeah, it was 30 frames a second. Yeah, the graphics were cut, but regardless, it was the same game.
Yeah.
So that was very nice to sort of see running on a little sort of supercharged tablet, which is basically what it is. Yeah, it's a little thing here. Alongside your Marios and your Puyos and 1-2 Switch and any other gimmicks you want, like this Nintendo Labo, yes. Which is just a whole other gimmick entirely. Of course, Minecraft is on everything, so that's out as well on the Switch.
Yeah. Put a few hours into that actually.
Have you got Minecraft on the Switch yet?
Picked it up cheap. Played it a bit.
Well, that is a relatively cheap game, and so it should be for what it is. But because everyone's got it, it's it's a bit of a robbery to ask someone $100 for that.
It was like me buying Rocket League again on the Switch. It was very similar because they're both cheap games and they're both sort of fun to play if you have time. And
it's good to know the Switch is coming out with those sort of games because its predecessor, the Wii U, kind of missed out on a lot of games later on in its life. Early on at launch, it had like Assassin's Creed and NBA or whatever, but later on, just no one gave a shit.
No.
And it's actually, this will be a good segue to lead on to this. The Switch has already sold more than the Wii U, and it's only been out for like a year.
The Wii U wasn't.
It was a misstep by Nintendo there.
And
the dog agrees.
Yes,
He would just vomit or piss on the Wii U. So, just some quick stats according to VG charts here. The Wii U sold 13,097,100,000 copies, whatever.
Yeah.
So the Switch is on 14,400,000, so it's like 500,000 more, which is impressive for it having only been out for a year, and considering it didn't have that many games, like big games, people still flocked to buy it. I guess the gimmick, or not even the gimmick, just what the console is in terms of the portability and the console's dock mode side of it, just must have sold to the idea was sold to people really well.
Because they try and tease you with it with the Wii U, but the whole thing about it was it was still connected with a cable regardless the screen. So basically you can think of this as like the Wii U controller.
Yeah, and the console in it.
Yeah, with the screen and everything, but the console and everything.
Basically what the Wii U should have been, or what it was trying to do. Yeah, because the Wii U tried to do a lot of different things, but it didn't really excel in any of it.
No.
It was just as powerful as maybe a PS3 or a 360, and then the next year the PS4 was out. It's like,
I think you're being overly generous. I think still there's comparing to the 360 and the PS3.
If we go by stats, maybe.
Yeah.
Or, specs.
Because the Wii was nowhere near them.
No, it wasn't really that good at all. No.
I'm enjoying those 480i graphics.
It's kind of like how the Wii was just a GameCube with motion controls. Was the Wii U just like a supercharged Wii? Maybe
supercharged GameCube. Yeah,
it was too late, too little, too late. They almost didn't need to bring it out, to be honest. The Wii just could have, because that sold so many, they just could have left that out, kept that going.
I don't know if anyone can hear that car noise that just happened in the background.
It was me farting. I'm sorry.
Did we not burn our council?
Where we are filming this, it's not the tastiest of suburbs. Let's say.
No.
It's a bit dodgy sometimes. But we're in the comfort of this garage space here, and no one knows what is going down in our gaming council, and the Switch, and the games, and everything else. So, moving on from the sales, we'll move on to some features of the Switch.
Yeah.
So, of course, we've already talked. The biggest feature is the whole you can play on the go or in dock mode. In dock mode, it does improve the graphics, or it's supposed to. It does depend on the game, I guess. The screen itself is a 720p screen, which is fine for its size. It's actually, I was looking at it before going through the eShop.
It's nice and clear.
It's beautiful. It's crisp. Yeah. It looks better than most TVs. So nothing wrong there at all. It doesn't need to be 1080p. You see some phones these days that come with 4K screens. You just think, why? It's just a selling point. It's just I got a 4K phone. Cool. It's 5 inches big. You can watch a YouTube video with ads. You can watch your ads in 4K. No worries. But this thing, you can play proper games. And okay. So,
like you say, resolution fits the purpose.
It does. Yes.
So, if you're using something big, having higher resolution is a lot better than say on something small.
Exactly.
It's not as necessary.
No, that's right. Because the small screen makes it look sharper, and it's all good. And it does boost it to 1080 on some games on if you dock it and put it on a TV, which is fine.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. It's not like it's 480i or something like old school.
Yeah.
Because those you tell.
It's very much you know, pushing sort of 360 and maybe a little bit Xbox One with 900p for some games. So
which is fine for a handheld, to be honest. You got to just keep remembering that, like, this is like a tablet sort of device, and it's, you know, it's designed for gaming, and it does the job, definitely.
And when I say Xbox One, I don't mean
no, not the One X,
the resolution.
Yeah,
not the actual quality
of the graphics,
just the resolution.
No, that's right, because
it's very important to be specific about that, because that's giving it even too much credit there.
Yes.
So.
Well, hopefully the people listening to the show understand that, and if not, we've taught them something new, I guess. We aim to educate here and talk about the real issues on the video game.
I don't think you get Rise running at 900p docked mode.
No, certainly not.
Yeah, out of the Switch.
Yeah, that would be quite a stretch, because Rise, even by today's standards, looks like a fairly decent game. The only thing that, I guess, doesn't let it down, but is cut back a bit, is just its scale. It's not quite as big, it's very linear.
That's right.
But the graphics, yeah, nice. Very nice. But Nintendo games are nice in their own way. Like, well, with the games that are here, for example, like Mario Kart looks great. It runs smoothly, 60 frames a second, so no worries.
The art style in this game,
which
in these games particularly, so we've got Super Mario Odyssey, and then we've got Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Yes, yes.
So these particular games that were ones that people were pretty keen on, particularly after they were announced to be 3.
Yeah, which was just a couple of months after the console would have been announced. For those of you who aren't watching and just listening, we do have the Switch in some cases just set up here just for looks and show. Not necessary, but it still looks nice. But yeah, everyone loves Mario, I guess. So Mario's just one of those characters.
It's like a go-to game if you're a Nintendo fan.
Well, that's exactly right. Yeah. I mean, on every single Nintendo, whether it's a portable or a console, Mario's Mario. Whether it's Mario Kart.
I love Mario 64 on Nintendo 64, obviously, and that
a lot of people did
that rekindled my love for that sort of genre.
It got back to that sort of style of play and whatnot.
Yeah, that was good.
Nice. Did you play did you play that game in docked or handheld? Handheld most of the time.
I think I played it in both.
Both? Yeah, just a nice,
like a good.
You switched between them both?
Oh,
God. See, the marketing just works so much better for the Switch than it did for the Wii U. It's like, what, Wii U? Like, whatever.
Wii U? Oh, Wii me? Or
yeah, exactly. Wii us? Like, what were you doing, Nintendo?
I don't know.
They were trying to be smart, I guess, and it just didn't.
Revolution was a better name. I'm just saying it was a much better name.
They could have, brought back the Revolution name.
Or Revolution 2, that would have been fine.
Yeah, even that, fucking, why not?
Yeah.
But, Wii U, okay, no worries. No. So, moving on to more features of the Switch, anything you'd like to add about its features and what you liked, what you disliked, in terms of having it?
That's a good point. Obviously, they've gone portable.
Yes, so they have combined, I guess, the
two extremes of
console and handheld, and
so
they've met in the middle.
They've taken what they've learned from Game Boy Pocket, Color, Advance, SP, DS,
DSi, 3DS.
And then they've taken what they've learned from sort of the Wii U, I guess, and maybe the Wii, because the Joy-Cons have that sort of feedback and things like that in it, so they've just gone, okay, we'll take the best of those worlds and we'll mash it into this. And
portable, like Wii, almost. Those Joy-Cons, they are very, very technically very good. Just how they recognise your movements and where you can stand relative to the console, and it'll still read it and stuff. Like with the Wii, it was pretty good back in the day still, like with its motion and just being able to play games with that and stuff. This is definitely another step above that. It's almost seamless. It's like,
well, you don't have to worry about that sensor bar.
True, that's exactly right.
That's the big pain in the backside if you had a Wii. Like, it was setting up the sensor bar, and then sometimes even just getting the sensor bar to try and read where the remote is, or you're trying to aim your sensor bar has to be, aim your remote at the sensor bar, I should say.
Yes.
In order to get it to be picked up on screen, so...
Yeah, they've completely gotten rid of that. Yeah. Which is, it's, like I said, it's seamless. Like, you forget that, they has to read something, but no cables, no cords, the only thing you got to do is, sync it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's easy anyway.
Yeah.
Which is important for a console like this, because it's,
And it's a step in the right direction, because... you're seeing now, particularly with Xbox and Kinect, they've phased that out. They're realizing that, okay, this is something that we've tried. It's not going to catch. And I think Nintendo's even cotton onto that now. So they've just gone, okay, well, we'll just do what we can and still make it unique. And they've done it.
They definitely
with
have.
the Joy-Cons. So.
And what's nice is it's not a requirement either.
No, that's
there are
right.
so many different ways you can play all the games on the Switch. Like it doesn't have to be motion controls. It can be a normal controller.
Yeah, or just even one Joy-Con on its side. Or,
actually, that is a great point. The console, when you buy it, it basically comes with two controllers.
Yeah.
Because it comes with two Joy-Cons.
If I'm very careful and I don't knock over the Switch on its stand, I can pull this Joy-Con out. You can see what I'm talking about there. So you can just use that as your controller.
Yeah, and just it's not the most comfortable thing in the world, but it doesn't matter.
Two little shoulder buttons there that you can use as buttons, and I mean I've got big hands, so I hate the bloody thing in this mode in particular. It's
great for if you've got mates coming over and they just want to quickly play something.
Kids
and stuff. Yeah, it is Nintendo are really smart with that, giving two controllers, because having worked in game sales in the past, people always used to ask, how many controllers does it come with? Look, it only comes with one.
No.
They only ever come with one most of the time.
Right.
And
this comes with two.
Yeah, exactly. And with most games, that's all you need.
Exactly.
Especially with the simple sort of stuff, which Nintendo mostly come out with. Like Mario Kart, you can play it perfectly with that. Your one joystick, because you use it to steer, accelerate, brake, and some items. That's all you need. It's really good.
The only thing that you do have to adjust to is because the buttons are different on each slide, so when you take them and use them individually, you have to sort of adjust to say, okay, this is using arrows or this is using letters. And that can be sometimes a bit confusing, particularly if you're holding it at a different angle.
Yeah,
because it's got if you can see what I'm talking about, you've got help if I could actually see, but you've got all your different arrows pointing that way, but then it changes there, and
change it into that.
But it doesn't so much happen with the letters. The letters just change.
The letters are the letters.
So they stay the same, but they just sort of move a little bit positional wise. But
well, that's the amount of, I guess, flexibility that Nintendo have given to how many ways you can play on these games for the Switch.
Yeah.
Which speaking of, just quickly, we're on the eShop before, and there was a ton of games on there.
So cheap.
And cheap too, exactly. Yeah.
Except for the AAA titles.
Yeah, so the big name games are, however much they are. Like Bayonetta was $70 or whatever, and that was two.
Normal. Yeah.
Bayonetta 1 was 50. But yeah, a lot of the other games are just they're the sort of games you expect on a 3DS, a portable, which, this is a kind of hybrid, as you say, between both the console and the handheld. But lots of games out there. Cheap games, expensive games, good games, bad games. There's just games, which is good. It's important. When within its first year as well, to have so many games out already, and of varying degrees. Just looking at the top 10 list, for example, you've got your Marios, you've got your Pokken, your Xenoblade, which is like a proper sort of title. FIFA as well. Yeah. FIFA 18.
Oh, well, FIFA's always been popular.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I mean, that'll sell on any platform.
That's exactly right. Even on a mobile and this and that and what have you. And then even going down, we've got LA Noire. That's just a random game, but good on them. But then right above it, you've got Monopoly. So. Random titles everywhere. Yeah. And then WWE 2K. I didn't even know WWE 2K18 came out for the Switch.
Yeah, I knew that. But
didn't sell very well though. Look at this, 100,000 copies. Good on you, 2K. At least you tried.
That'd be interesting to find out where 2K18 came in the basketball game. Is that on that list?
Let's find out. So, NBA. Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yep. It sold 200,000 copies.
Okay.
Which is fine. I mean, look, it is expensive, relatively, game.
It's a very expensive game, particularly on the eShop.
Actually, did it sell?
It had those ridiculous editions that were almost $160 and whatever.
Now, it actually doesn't have here the NBA Playgrounds game for sales, so it'd be interesting to see if that actually sold more because it was cheaper. But regardless, I know the good thing with the NBA title and all the sports ones, they would use those Joy-Cons, as we were explaining before, with just the one Joy-Con, and you can put it on the side or whatever. And it's good, if you've got a mate coming over, just give them it, and bam, off you go. You don't have to go out and spend $100 on on another controller, or 80 if it's an Xbox One one. But then you've got to pay for a charge kit, whatever.
All that shit.
Controllers are never expensive. Speaking of, you have a bunch of controllers for the Wii. No, sorry, the Switch.
Oh, I do. Yes, but they're for the Wii. and we're talking about the Switch.
Yeah, so you can't use them on the Switch, unfortunately. So yeah,
If I did, I'd just throw it out the door because that's how useful my Wii is. No,
wonderful.
So I have the Pro controller, which is like it's almost like a rip off of what the 360 controller was, or
just a normal game controller. Yeah.
The shoulder buttons are a bit different. The triggers,
yes,
very different.
Well, they're not progressive. They're just like buttons.
Tap. Yeah.
Which is probably the only downside of the controller, to be honest. The rest of it's actually really nice. It's a really decent controller. It's pretty pricey though, but
I think I picked up mine for about $80, which wasn't too bad.
That's not bad.
I think I got it like 2 days after I got the console, which wasn't too bad. They had it on sale at Target.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because for the first well, for a while after launch, there would be specials on the games or the accessories or what have you. Pro controller lasts ages though.
The battery, it is amazing. Yeah,
it is great. Does the controller have vibration as well? I don't think it does, but I mean that might contribute to
it does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Even better than for its battery life.
The only controller that I have that doesn't have vibration, that's a good lean into it, is a PowerA controller. And that's a third party, and it's wired, so it plugs straight into the dock. There's no other way you can plug it in if it's in this portable mode or tabletop mode. So yeah, that just goes into the USB 3 on the dock, and away you go. And you just plug that in, and it's a very basic controller. No rumble. The sticks are really thick, and it feels sort of a bit cheaper to your Pro controller. Obviously, the shoulder buttons are a little bit more
plasticky.
It doesn't feel as nice to tap, and the same sort of a little bit with the triggers. But overall, like, it's for $50 or less. It's a solid controller, and it'll do the job.
It's a good spare controller for anyone that comes around and wants to play. I mean, especially when a lot of games like Bomberman, for example, it's got eight players.
Yeah.
So you have like 8 different controllers. It's kind of like Smash Brothers, I guess. Yeah, you have like you can even have a 3DS as a controller on your Super Smash Bros. On your Wii U, which I'm sure will come to the Switch eventually. We might hear about that at E3 in a couple of months, as well as a bunch of other titles that will come out. So, yeah, anything else on the technical side or the features on the Switch?
Yeah, well, we can continue to talk about different controllers.
There's more controllers.
I mean, we are talking about its almost first year anniversary coming up.
Pretty much, in a couple of hours.
There's been a few sort of limited edition controls, like the Splatoon 2 controller with the green and pink, and the little Splatoon characters all embedded into the actual design of the console. I mean the controller.
Yes, the Pro controller.
Yeah.
So there was the Pro controller ones, and there was the Joy-Cons as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Joy-Cons were just the same colours again, so green and pink.
Yes, which are like a fluoro sort of design. So there was also the yellow banana color controllers.
Yes, the banana controls.
What did that come out for actually? There was no Donkey Kong game, was there?
No, there wasn't. But that would be a perfect tie-in if they were to do that.
Exactly
if they're
right.
going to release like a Donkey Kong game for the Switch at some point, which I'm assuming that they will.
It should.
They have to.
Yeah.
Because I remember what was it, Donkey Kong 64, something like that. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was Donkey Kong 64.
I think it was just called 64. Didn't that come with a yellow cartridge?
Yeah.
See, that's good. Like, that's a good tie-in. I mean, you can't really. I mean, these console does use cartridges for its games, but you can't really color them exactly. They're just black. But yeah, some color controller or even a Switch would be nice. We've got a yellow Switch.
I'd love if they brought out the Donkey Kong game and they made the cartridge yellow or.
That'd be nice.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Because that'd be a real throwback.
It would actually, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember the 64 cartridge, like you said, it was bright yellow, and you stick it in, and it's like, oh yeah, it's Donkey Kong. It's like, what are you playing? It's yellow. Oh, it must be Donkey Kong.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
yeah, why not? So there was also the red Mario ones.
Yeah, for Odyssey.
Yep. Yes, which by the way is the best-selling Switch game at 7 million copies. Over 7 million copies.
Yeah.
Sitting right there on the table as well. Yes. Just above Mario Kart, which sold 6 million, and same with Zelda. And then the rest is just, a lot lower. Splatoon 2's got 4 million, but have you got Splatoon?
Yeah, I do. I played it a bit. Yeah, it's kind of fun. You just sort of spray paint everywhere or ink at everyone.
Yeah.
It's basically a territory game, so if you ink each other too much, then you'll die and respawn, and then basically you have to spray your ink everywhere across this map, and whoever dominates the map with their ink basically wins the game.
Wins the game, yeah. That's just a very Nintendo sort of idea where it's,
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, just a fun sort of kickback sort of.
Like it was a
game.
bit like Arms for me. Like I got into it a little bit, and then eventually it was just like, oh, okay, well I've got the gist of the game, and the appeal isn't there for me anymore. So it's
yeah. Well, it's good
I don't
to
play it anymore.
it's good to try it out and see what Nintendo has to offer. I guess
Exactly,
as its own for its own platform, its own unique sort
It's
of.
something that I never tried, and I thought, well, you know, like I said, there's always a bit of hype around this sort of thing, and either you like it or you don't. And if you're a fan of the series, good on you. But I'm not one of them, unfortunately. I can see the appeal a little bit for maybe like the younger generation,
Yeah,
like kids and things like that.
or adults letting kids play this game instead of like
Yeah.
Call of Duty, I guess.
Yeah.
Which it seems like kids play anyway,
Yeah,
which they shouldn't be because they're like MAR 18 whatever. But regardless, who cares about ratings, right? You know, we played Grand Theft Auto, sort of games and whatnot. GoldenEye, what have you.
Yes.
Anyway, so just quickly before I looked up if Skyrim has the DLC, it does.
Oh well, that's good.
Which is good.
Should,
It should, because it's a 6-year-old game or whatever. So, anyway, moving on to speaking of DLC and online and stuff, the online aspects of the Switch, hit and miss, let's say.
Yeah.
So, I guess what's good about it? Online play is good. You get to play with other people.
Yeah,
but it does have its local play as well.
Yeah, so you system link it wirelessly.
Yep.
So you can connect to each other through the games or directly through the Switch itself.
Yes.
And then you've got your drawbacks with your online where you can't actually talk to people online.
No party chat.
Yeah.
Bloody
So
hell.
they brought out that stupid Nintendo app for your phone where you have to
yeah.
use that, and that was used for Splatoon 2, funnily enough.
Right. See, that definitely we should talk about that app.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Nintendo make
I should have brought my phone in, that would help, but anyway.
you have this portable console and
Yeah.
you expect it to have like a phone as well to chat with others. Yeah, it's a bit.
So, yeah.
It's a bit of a roundabout issue. However, recently they updated Doom to have party chat in the game, which is
That's
nice
interesting.
because that's just cool to have. But
Yeah.
the fact that they have to make the games with the party chat in it's a bit
Yeah, it's a bit. Sorry, I should say it's a bit like that for Rocket League because you've got like those just quick chat like buttons, so you can press like a button.
and it's got like
chat.
preset sort of text
preset
and stuff.
Yeah, that's
That
very
does too,
basic.
yeah.
It's very basic. You can't like the only way around it is if you press a button and then you actually start typing in what you want to say, and then you can send it that way.
Yep.
But that takes forever.
Yeah, because you've got to like.
It's a pain in the backside. It's almost like text messaging someone.
Yeah, and you can't plug in a keyboard into the Switch and use that instead. So
It reminds me of like PS3 days.
yeah, we had
Before
like,
they had party, like any party.
before any party chat.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
it didn't
Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
The 360 did.
Yeah.
Thank God. That was a cool feature back in the day. Like that would have been. I didn't experience it, but you did. So fuck yeah.
I remember like on the PS3 we like talked to each other through like Black Ops party
Yes.
chat in Call of Duty.
There was
Their chats.
there was a certain
Yeah.
like excitement around that where because
Yeah.
you couldn't chat outside the game, you'd have to wait in the lobby and then you'd have to wait for your mate to sign in and then you just hear the yo man yo.
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck yeah, everybody Call of Duty and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of it's a nice little sort of quirk I guess. But nowadays it's just party chat. Like you don't even have to be playing games. You can just be in the party chat and do whatever.
Which is why the Xbox and the PS4 are so popular. Well, Xbox One, I should say.
Yeah,
With
exactly.
their party chat features, and PlayStation's finally nailed it. So.
Yep, they finally caught up and did the thing.
Which is something that this needs to do at some point, I believe.
You would
because
hope.
it's a feature it desperately needs for me.
It does,
And
especially just these days.
It kills the social aspect of it completely. I mean, okay, yeah, I can understand you've marketed it as a console where you meet up with your friends and connect wirelessly.
Yeah.
And you like go to a local park, or you've seen the ads for it. And you're like, oh yeah, let's
Yeah, they
get
take
around
it to
this.
like their friend's house or whatever. Yeah.
Get around the little screen in like a friggin'
On the
back
bench.
alley or on a basketball court after they're playing basketball. Oh, let's play
play
NBA
NBA,
Playgrounds or some shit on the Switch.
No, you're right. Absolutely right.
But
Nah, it needs chat.
it needs chat.
It does.
It does.
Especially if it wants to be not a competitor directly, but at least compete in the same space as PlayStation and like Xbox and stuff, which it traditionally always has. Like this is Nintendo we're talking about.
That's right.
Like before PlayStation came out, Nintendo was one of the biggest with the NES and the SNES. Sega was there as well, but they're one of the big players. And that's why they're still around, of course.
Yeah.
And their handheld stuff sort of got them through as well. But the GameCube was no slouch, and
No, it wasn't.
the Wii, the 64 was pretty popular, and Like I didn't have one, but I know heaps of
grew
people
up
did.
with the 64. That was
You got one,
the console for me.
I mean, they had great graphics and stuff back in the day. It had some limitations, but it was a unique console, and it was a good console. It had proper games on there, that could compete with PlayStation and what have you. But it needs those features to sort of stay relevant, I guess. But you would hope, and leading on to the upcoming online service for the Switch, you would hope that comes with those sort of features and an easier way to find people.
Friends and
do you still have to use the friend code?
Yeah, the friend codes are still being used, and that's painful.
Yeah. Like
that's a feature I've never liked.
No, I don't like that either.
It's not as easy as like using like a PSN name or an Xbox account name.
Which you just search the name,
and then it just comes up and that's it. It's not like I'll have to punch in this unique code to get a friend. Like, come on.
Like you're going to send messages to each other. Like, cool, that's about all you can do.
I don't even know if you can do that, to be honest. I haven't even tried.
Actually, that wouldn't surprise me because Nintendo are very sort of like protective, I guess, of communication in general. So you can't even send like a yo, you want to play this? Yeah,
Nintendo are all very closed doors,
blocked off
over particular sort of things, like even YouTube reviews.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah. Like if you're going to review Mario or Zelda or anything like that, God help yourself if you get a copyright ban or an infringement or something, and they'll just go, you're not.
Put 10 seconds of footage in, you're risking your YouTube account there. Yeah, that's quite ridiculous. But then they ask people to join their Nintendo Creator Program or something. Nah. Just let us talk about your console and games, and if people like what we say about it and they get interested in it, then you'll get some sales, and that's just how it works. Don't stooge people into working for you on your games and giving reviews on how you want.
What's the saying? You're better off being talked about than not talked about.
Yeah,
exactly remember that, Nintendo?
Yeah, lucky that we're talking about you. You're lucky that your Switch is so good that we actually are praising it most of the time.
Yes.
Yeah, it does have its flaws, but overall, it's all right. 1 year on, of course. Yeah, it's only 1 year. You can imagine in 2, 3, 4 years, like, who knows what else is in store for this console? Like, more games, more features, more gimmicks. I'm sure we'll see more gimmicks for it.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. Not all of them are great. I mean, that cardboard game that's coming out soon, you can, be a boxing robot or was like this big, like city record. I don't know.
Just whatever you do not make a follow up to 1-2 Switch, Nintendo. Oh, God. Do not.
What, like,
1, 2, 3, 4 Switch.
3-4 Switch, yeah. No.
Oh, that can go in the bonfire. I'm getting more enjoyment out of it now.
Yeah, the covers burning up and crackling and keeping you warm.
I think a lot of people get pleasure out of that. Just watching that game burn.
I think I don't. Well, there are 1.5 million copies out in the wild. That's a big bonfire we can make for the 1-2 Switch. Yeah, look, just stick to traditional gaming, Nintendo. If you bring out Donkey Kong, for example, don't make it like some party game or something. Just make it your platformer, like you did with Mario Odyssey.
No.
Like, I haven't played the game, obviously. I've only played Galaxy.
Fantastic.
But from what I've seen, what I've heard, it is a sort of a traditional Mario title.
Yeah.
And I did like how they sort of had your 2D retro sort of sections in between levels.
Yeah.
Just the way it blended.
Very good throwback.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they need to do things like that. Exactly right.
Yeah.
So actually, in saying that though, a 3D sort of free roam Donkey Kong would be something different.
Yeah. Well, Donkey Kong 64 was a little bit like that. It was linear in parts, but it had sort of open world sort of levels.
Oh, okay.
Where you can sort of go around to different locations and
bring that back and expand it.
That would be fantastic. I would buy that. I would buy that.
Lots of people.
No problems.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Bring out the banana controllers again, or even bring out the Pro controller with the yellow on it, maybe because the Joy-Con's already out. So
go down well with Richmond fans. They'd buy that.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. The black and the
yellow.
And the yellow, exactly. It's the same sort of yellow too.
Yeah,
that
it is.
Bright sort of fluoro-ish sort of yellow.
Yeah.
Well, anything else to mention on its features side in that sort of sense with online and upcoming stuff? Maybe. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Maybe. Anything you want to see?
Oh well. Just basically changes to the system software. I mean, there's been very sort of minor updates there where they've sort of fixed up a few issues, particularly with your games library not being able to fully show up, or you're only been able to download a certain amount of games regardless of how big your micro SD card is or however much space you've actually got on the internals, which isn't that much.
No, and it's a bit of a quirk with the system. It does use micro SD cards, which I mean they will get bigger in the future, and the games aren't terribly huge.
No.
But if you're going to digitally download them all the time, you're going to run out of space pretty quickly.
That's
if
it.
you're going to download your big titles and
That's
stuff.
it, yeah.
But no, that's fair enough. If you buy them physically, I guess you can save a lot of space in that sort of sense. The user interface is actually really nice and sort of. It's sleek. It's minimalistic. It's actually better than the 3DS one, I think, which was fine as well. But for a portable, it's great. It's snappy as well. And it looks good.
Kind of reminds me of like the interface that we have on like an iOS or something like that.
Yeah, like a tablet sort of thing. It's just
yeah.
nice and stripped back, and it's you've got some options and stuff, but it's not too much. Unlike, let's say, a Xbox One or a PS4, where you got like HDR settings and this and that, like so much.
It's got like little tweaks you can do. Like you can change like your audio preferences when you're in dock. Like if you want to put it in dock mode, you'll have like in surround or on audio. It'll actually pick up if you've got a sound system.
Well, that's neat.
In your TV, because I've got the dock directly going into my sound system instead of going directly to the TV.
Yes.
So it's got like a throughput to the TV.
Yep.
So it'll pick up the fact that it's got the surround system, and
it will actually.
I'll run it through the surround system, and it'll come up on the TV. So
it's important that they did that sort of seamlessly, and the fact that when you put it in the dock, it changes the channel in your TV or whatever. Like they did really well.
It's fantastic because I can chuck it in the dock and it turns on everything.
Yeah, that's neat.
That's a good feature.
Really good.
Yeah,
and it's probably why the dock's so expensive if you want to buy another one. It's like $100 or something.
Yeah, even though it's made out of cheap plastic.
Yeah, and it scratches the. Actually, that is a criticism, I guess.
Actually, yeah, because I had to buy a screen protector almost immediately for it, and they were hard to get. Yeah, particularly a few months after the console as well, because everyone was buying it with the console.
I think you ended up buying it off me actually when I was at Big W.
Yeah, a screen protector.
Yeah, just a $13 thing or whatever.
Yeah, it was cheap.
Yeah, you definitely needed one because it does scratch the. I don't know how Nintendo didn't sort of see this when they were testing. Like, what did they not think people were going to dock it all the time? Like,
well, they must have like docked it once and went, it
works. It's fine. Like, yeah, it fits and what have you. Yeah, you're exactly right. Well, at least they could have changed the material that connects with the screen or something.
Yeah, made it smoother.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
even like a sort of like a synthetic sort of rubber that won't drag or scratch.
Yeah, exactly. Because it seems that it just like it scratches it.
Yeah.
It could be the screen as well. Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, well, the screens these days are pretty sensitive as it is. So I mean, you find if it's going to rub against something constantly, that something will show up. Eventually.
Like it might crack or whatever. Like screens are like.
Yeah.
But so good and bad about that, I guess. The dock is handy in some aspects, and then it just scratches your fucking console.
Or just build, like, if they ever do a system refresh, and this is something that we've talked about before on the show, and even before we started tonight, that they could potentially build the next screen out of Gorilla Glass or something that's scratch proof, and obviously put a bigger
battery.
Yeah, battery, memory.
Yeah, exactly. So if they do a refresh of it,
which
they do with their handhelds, and this is a handheld, so they could well just come out the refresh. Yeah,
Yeah.
better glass, bigger battery. Maybe they'll make a smaller version with the Joy-Cons attached permanently. Like,
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, if they make like a mini version or whatever, they might even make a bigger. We don't know.
You'd think if they actually did that, though, it would force people into buying another controller because they don't have that feature where they can sort of detach it and then they can just have the screen on its own.
Yeah,
if they want to do that,
it would be.
It's very sort of feature restrictive.
It is, but I guess it makes it more of a handheld as opposed to a console. Like it probably won't have a docked feature, maybe, if they were to do that.
Potentially.
Yeah, I mean,
it would almost be like another handheld for them. And like a step up from your where are we at now? 3DS or 2DS XL is the latest. Yeah. So that'd be a step
Basically,
up.
just like replacing that almost, which this might do, the Switch. I mean, because the Switch has taken off, I guess it will just replace the console and the handheld.
Then you lose when you think about it, if it doesn't come with a dock or anything, it's not really a Switch anymore.
Not really, no.
It's just the handheld.
It would be called like Nintendo Switch H, maybe.
It'd be interesting if it had like just the HDMI output on the actual console, like on like this part or something, and then you just plug it in, and then you just rest it on a table or whatever, and that's it.
Yeah, because you can probably still connect your Pro Controller and stuff wirelessly or whatever, and then it's sort of still a Switch sort of.
this is interesting now because this has just twigged something in my memory.
Mhm.
The PSP,
Yes.
right? Did that have a cable that you could connect to a TV and play it on a big TV?
Some versions did, yes. The later versions of the PSP did. Not the first version.
Yeah.
I think the third iteration did.
Yeah.
Yes, not the Go, not the Go though.
Yeah.
The digital one.
Yeah.
But like the best version of the handheld one did have a port where you could put in a HDMI or what have you. Yeah.
I think it was like just basic composite cables or something.
Or at least the resolution was that
Yeah.
basic sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was probably like 720i at most. Maybe.
Well, I think that might be a bit generous, but yeah,
Possibly.
possibly.
I think if you're watching movies or
I
something,
think it'd
perhaps.
just be standard def because I don't think the PSP was that powerful.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Whilst we're talking
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
I mean, there is like some converters, but right, have you?
Yeah, because I mean, like, just going off what we're saying, if Nintendo could maybe implement something like that, where they could have, you know, an output coming from the console into the TV,
they could well do that.
and then, if you know, if you plug it into a power supply as well, they could even give a graphics boost to your TV, like because it's utilizing extra power coming from another, like the plug or something. So.
That's a good point, actually.
It's sort of hard to think about too because then you're worried about having to adjust how big the dimensions of the screen are and where that extra power is going to come from and particularly within the system we're talking now, not externally but internally.
I guess it depends what they do with the internals. Whether if they do a refresh like they've done with the Pro and the X, whether they make it more powerful or whether they just do the same thing but make it smaller and cheaper. So. It depends what they want to do with that, I guess. Knowing Nintendo, they'll probably make it cheaper.
Because this has got the NVIDIA Maxwell processor in it at the moment.
Yes, it does. 1.5 or something. It's like a custom thing.
What's the step up from the Maxwell? I can't remember what it's called.
I think there's a 2, like a Generation 2 of Maxwell.
Generation 2, yeah.
Which, I mean, they might use that.
Yeah.
But maybe not like have it as powerful and just... Because if it's more powerful, it's more battery then as well.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, if you want to extend battery life, which is probably a main priority, because you can only get, 3-4 hours in Zelda, which is not that great.
Yeah. I mean, that's where it's sort of falling apart at the moment as well. Like, you've got the option of it being portable, but then you can only use it for a few hours.
You got to have a battery pack with you, like
all the time.
Like there was that Switch charge thing that was coming out from some third-party thing, which was going to solve those issues and whatnot. But yeah, you shouldn't need that. You should just have, how good would 10-hour battery life be on a Switch?
That'd be fantastic. I think that'd probably sell more systems.
Absolutely. So I think overall Nintendo will sort of go that route where they'll extend the battery life, keep the power the same. Maybe just make a better screen and just make it, I don't know.
You can almost think of it in terms of like a controller, particularly like comparing it to like a 360 controller where it had like the battery pack on the back.
Ah, yeah.
So you could almost have a feature where maybe if they ever do a system refresh, if you can put like an external battery on, and that'll prolong the life as well.
Yeah, like
what you've got internally, or
like a camera battery or a phone battery.
Yeah, something like that. You just like stick it on the back, and
that's not a terrible idea. I mean, you can just.
It's thinking outside the box. That's the point I'm getting at. It's probably not the
appropriate
most ideal situation. It's not really probably ergonomically comfortable.
Yeah, it's probably everything you got to work out. Yeah, whether it's because this is pretty flat. Like it's a very nice system for what it is, and it doesn't get terribly hot either. And they've
done such a good job because it's got a little heatsink in the top. We won't be able to see that on camera, but at the top it's got maybe like a tiny little fan that blows through.
Yes,
the air.
And that's all it needs. Yeah, that's all it has.
Yeah.
So just quickly with the PSP, component AV is the most that you can get out of it.
Yeah.
So, but components, that's HD. So they can do a HD. Well, whether it outputs it, depending on what it does, different story.
Depends on your TV as well, and
I guess
sort of quality that you're going to get.
Yeah, I mean it might do the component, but it might not give the signal. So
that's right.
But with this, it would absolutely do your HD, like because it's just capable.
Yeah, it's just. Well, I mean, it's still in 720p on that screen, and it looks fantastic there. So there's no reason why you couldn't be able to, put an external output coming straight out of the actual thing without the dock.
Or instead of buying a USB 3 to HDMI or just some crap like USB-C, sorry, not USB 3. It does use USB-C, which is neat, I guess. It's the next generation of USB.
I reckon Nintendo will probably get to the point where they'll probably make a handheld that will look a bit like this laptop. I'll just take that apart, and we'll get to something like this, with maybe like grips at the side and stuff, and then it'll have like a, you know, an output at the side.
If they want to do like
a or whatever,
or like a pro version of the Switch.
Yeah, because this has got like USB-C on the inside, like the Switch does.
Well, it's basically it's the same thing. It's just smaller or bigger or what have you.
Yeah.
It's obviously got bigger hard drive or whatever. Well, it's got a hard drive sort of in it.
This has got an SSD inside it, for God's sake. It's like 120 gig.
How big's the one on the Switch? 32, isn't it? Or?
Thanks, Liz.
Yeah, well, so you definitely need the storage there on the Switch.
If you can fit an SSD in this...
Well, with technology improving and getting smaller and cheaper and stuff,
Intel processor.
It'll, you know, No, we'll see what Nintendo do. I don't think this year they'll come out with anything, but maybe next year they'll come out with a refresh or what have you. We'll see what they do. So yeah, anything else you want to add on the Switch's first anniversary?
I reckon we'll maybe give it a review for its first year.
Well, that's kind of what we're doing for the last 50 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Look, it's done well.
Yeah.
I don't know where they could have improved it, really. Like, yeah, there's little things they could have improved, but there's nothing substantially missing. Like, it's got the games, it's got the controllers, it's got, like, its gimmick worked. Yeah.
I reckon we'll review the actual hardware, yeah. So, like we're saying, like, we'll give it a rating out of 5, I'll give it a 4. That seems fair for me. Like, there's features of it that are there that I would like to have, but then, you know, at the same time, for what you get, it's pretty good overall.
Yeah, I think I'd give it a 3 just because it's battery life.
Yeah.
Just because it is a portable.
Yeah.
If they can improve that, oh yeah, it's you know, it's fine. Because graphics don't necessarily matter too much. It's more just it's everything else around it, how long it lasts.
It's definitely a step in the right direction in terms of, you know, the future of games.
Oh yeah, especially for what Nintendo want to do.
They've taken their own unique path, which Nintendo always do.
They have forever, yeah.
It's an option that's there for, you know, those that aren't sort of couch console gamers and
if you don't want to play
Call
of Duty,
on the go and are busy and, you know, they don't always have time to sit down in front of the TV and go, well, okay, well, you know, I'll have a few hours to spare. Some people don't live like that, and that's reasonable.
It's like an in-between between like your 3DS and your PS4.
Yeah.
It's a good hybrid sort of system. It's if you want to play some bigger and better games rather than just your portable-ish sort of stuff, it's a good point. So speaking of games, overall for its first year, 5 out of 5. Like it's got the games. Yeah.
It's had some shocking games though.
It certainly has.
Yeah.
But that aside, it has been countered with some decent shit. So.
Yeah. So you got to outweigh the sort of good and the bad, and overall the good far outweighs the bad. And
absolutely. And just the sheer fact that it's got games, like, for its first year, sweet.
And the amount of games is absolutely incredible. Even like just small third-party stuff that we went through on the eShop.
Yeah, just random shit. Like, there's something for everyone in that sort of sense. And it goes back to the whole. It's like because it's a portable as well. Yeah, you just want some cheap sort of games.
Less than $30 and even 15.
Yeah, like that's good.
They're not like your AAA. Oh my god! Look at these visuals for the portability and
sound,
the
whatever. Yeah, some new gameplay design feature or something. Like they're just you know what you're getting at.
2D top-down stuff, but they're still playable and they're probably still fun in their own way.
Well, exactly. And
this is stuff to explore if you've got the money and you're interested in.
That's it. If someone gives you a gift card for your birthday, it's like got $100 on it, or whatever. Check out some games. That's it. It's not like you're spending $100 on it and you're like, oh shit, this is horrible. Like I don't know, what's a good example?
Bomberman's actually a good example.
Yeah,
it was a very, very much a bit of a letdown for me. I mean, considering
it was a full price game, so
it didn't feel like it though.
No, it didn't. Like
in the end,
it didn't have like a campaign mode or stuff like that. It was just
had a campaign, but it's so short.
It was just the game. It was the game levels just again and again or whatever.
Yeah, the variety of levels too. It was poor. The variety in it was just terrible.
That probably should have been a $30 game. At most.
I'll agree with that. At launch, the $30, and now it should be like $20.
Yeah.
But it's still probably sitting there at around $80 on the eShop, and that makes me cringe a little bit.
I don't blame you at all.
Yeah.
Right, so we talked about hardware, talked about games.
Yeah.
What else is there to sort of rate on the Switch? Just going ad hoc here. Okay, so the online aspect of it, I guess. probably the biggest letdown at the moment. Only because the paid online shit hasn't come yet. Nintendo Switch Online, or
We
whatever
can
it's
actually
called.
talk about that a little bit if you'd like. Like, we know that it's going to be around the $20-$30 mark annually.
Yeah, apparently so. That's
Which
a
is
lot cheaper than the others.
Because on Xbox you're looking at about 60, 70.
Yeah.
The same on the PlayStation,
Yeah, it's the
roughly.
same.
So,
And they all offer the same thing in terms of you get games per month. And the Switch is sort of going to do that. You don't get to keep them, though. That's
yeah,
the thing.
that's as long as you probably renew your subscription, and then you'll be able to keep them.
Not even, they're just rented. So per month you get to play a game for a month, and next month it's something different. That's Nintendo's one. Yeah.
I think I just died a little on the inside there when you told me that.
And apparently they'll just be like your virtual console games
So it's
too.
not like PlayStation where you can,
Download
as
it.
long as you have your Plus, it's there still and you can play it.
No.
Or Nintendo.
But it is cheaper, so.
Well, even Xbox Live's games with Gold, you keep the games permanently, even if your Gold subscription runs out. Because if you've had your Gold subscription and you've technically paid for it, then you've got it.
I guess there isn't as big of a library to sort of do that with the Switch just yet, because it's not like with last gen it was that as well.
I think Nintendo need to sort of realise as well as games age, and as long as the games are getting older and older and less people are buying it, then they may as well get it out there for nothing.
Yeah, exactly right. They should do that at least a couple of times for their games.
Because that's what's happened with PS4 release games, Xbox One release games.
Xbox One as well, yep.
They've these sort of initial releases that have gone with the console at launch are now, becoming free, and you get
free or ridiculously cheap.
Yeah. Like Battlefield, for example, is like $10. Battlefield 4.
Yeah, that's
and even like Hardline now is the same price, and that's like a couple of years older than that. So
yeah, absolutely right.
This is where we're getting to.
Well, the slight differences of consoles. This is where it comes into play. And Nintendo, just in their online thing, is always a bit behind, I guess.
Yeah.
So $20-$30, you will see what you get for it, and what they will offer with the service. If it's exactly like Xbox Live and PSN, where you got party chat and this and that, sweet. But if not, you're going to have to answer to us, Nintendo. And, we're going to grill you on that.
Well,
but we'll see.
Let me put it to you this way: like, you're paying you're paying for an online service on your PS4 and your Xbox One. You're getting the party chat feature.
Yeah.
Is it cheaper on Nintendo because you're not getting that feature?
Well, I hope not. I hope that's not the case. And if they're going to justify it like that, well, no, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because what are you paying for them?
You're just paying for their online service.
Which has been free since launch.
Yeah.
It's not like it hasn't had online. It has had online. It's been free so far. And then I'm going to start charging for it.
And now, and this is another thing about this console that I don't like, is Ethernet is only available through the dock. So you can't get internet wired to it any other way than through the dock or using Wi-Fi directly to the system, which is basically what everyone uses because that's the only thing that's actually built in for your internet.
Yeah.
And Wi-Fi isn't always reliable.
No, it's not. Or cheap, depending how you use it. Like if you tether off your phone or something, which a lot of people do, because they pay Optus $50 a month, whatever, you get 20 gig, whatever. It's like, oh, yeah, okay. But if you're playing online, we'll see what Nintendo do. If they're going to use the money to upgrade their services and stuff, then sweet. Actually invest into it and make it better. But I guess we'll find out.
That'd be interesting.
And same with the, I want to see the virtual console fucking come finally. I want to see some older games on there. But Nintendo being dodgy, they're going to make you re-buy them even though you bought them on other consoles, which is something they have to grow out of. Microsoft, with Sony, PS Vita and PS4, you buy it on one, you get it for free on the other. It's one and the same.
Yeah, or at least discount it.
At least discount it,
because
exactly.
I remember I think I downloaded Dishonored for free on the 360 when it went gold one year. Mm-hmm. And then when the definitive edition was released or whatever it was on the Xbox One, it realised that I already had the game.
The game, and it gave
my
you a
360
discount.
library. Yeah, it took almost half price or more off the reboot.
Half would be good.
Yeah,
half.
And I was like, shit. Okay, Microsoft's cool. They're a bit generous. I'm like, And gamers love that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, they do.
And
they will appreciate it.
it's not a slap in the face.
No, like
when you have to rebuy it
on every console, like your 3DS, your Wii U, and now your Switch. Like, really, you're gonna pay like $100 overall for like a game that's 20 years old? Like, nah. Grow out of it, Nintendo. That's probably something you really got to look into.
Exploiting gamers for money.
Yeah.
Is basically where the trend is now with microtransactions and everything, but we've already talked about that.
Yeah, well, Nintendo do it a different way, I guess, with their products. Yeah, they guard it, and it's nice that they make them backwards compatible and stuff, on all the consoles. But the fact you got to rebuy them all the time,
I don't. No one here, particularly amongst our friendship group, wants gaming to become something that's just about profit and not about what they're actually putting out there.
No.
And that can be said for the whole gaming community worldwide, because...
Well, you say that, but then we look at how much they're spending on microtransactions, they're not getting the message.
Well, at some point, I think it's people like us and those that are already out there on YouTube that are trying to get this message across to everyone. Because I think at a certain point we're going to have to sort of wake up to what we're doing and say, well, okay, hang on. We can't...
Before it's too late as well.
Yeah, we can't just spend money on crap.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's what they're going to keep dishing out.
Yeah, because people keep buying it.
Yeah,
you're exactly right.
Like your friggin' $2 skins, or you pay $5 for some whatever the shit it is.
So
some weapon.
So stop playing mobile games first of all.
Yeah,
because that's horrible. Like most of them are shit. Like free to play garbage, as we discussed before.
Most of them are shit.
Most of them are shit. Exactly.
There's a few exceptions, but most of them are shit. Of course,
you get some quality ones. Pay for it, goddammit. Like 20 years ago, you spent $120 on a game that you couldn't update. Do we want to go back to that? I don't mind personally, but fuck. Yeah, you got to think you're right. There are certain things that are acceptable, and Nintendo charging again and again for their games is not one of them.
No.
But neither is other bullshit in the industry too. So there's evil everywhere, I guess.
Yes.
But Nintendo, they're very protective of their games and licenses and
reviews of independent reviews and
like God forbid we put footage in our Midnight Gaming Council
of like Zelda or Mario or Mario Kart.
But they have the share option on their on the Switch now.
But the thing with that is too, like that's actually a good point. This is something we can talk about because I know I can share like snaps and stuff to Facebook.
Yep.
And
is that about it?
I don't really know about YouTube. I don't think there's a YouTube feature.
Nah. You can record snippets though.
Yeah, like
30 seconds or something.
So you hold it down and then it takes a video recording.
Yep.
But that only appears in your library. But I
don't know if you can upload it
yet. And this is interesting because I know with particular games, that feature for video won't work. So you'll press it down and be like, "Oh, sorry, you can't record this game or something." And I'm like, "Well, why have you got this feature to record my gameplay then?"
It's completely opposite to what Microsoft and Sony have, where you can just record and stream even, like, just everything.
Yeah.
Some things you can't, but that's up to the developer to hide certain things in the game that they don't want to spoil for others. Yeah. That's great. But I know Nintendo would go the next step and be like, no, you just can't record this game at all. It'll probably be like Zelda and stuff, like their own bullshit, like, come on, man.
You do not review my game!
No. Unless it's 10 out of 10.
We in Japan, we don't do this. No.
No reviews.
No.
Just game. Just play.
You enjoy, shut up.
Yeah. Something like that, yeah. I mean, the Japanese, I know Sony's Japanese, but they don't really seem to be like a Japanese company. Like,
they don't seem like a bunch of tight asses.
No, I guess because they're part of a bigger company, but you're right. Like, it's just a different culture there, I think. Like, Nintendo are very, Japanese.
Particularly with PlayStation, they established their culture very well once the Xbox One shot themselves straight through the head and the foot and everywhere else.
That is a good point, yeah.
With,
they got a free pass with that almost. It's like, oh, thanks, guys. We have to do it easy now,
I particularly love that trailer that they put out with, here's how you share your game with your friends. Thanks! That was just, take this Microsoft, bang!
Yeah. Imagine if Nintendo tried to pull some shit like that too, like, fuck. You know what, though?
I would respect them more for it.
I think the fans would respect anything Nintendo do, to be honest though. Like the fanboys, the rabid fanboys of Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because you get some of them like that. And they're just like, everything Nintendo does is just gold and, oh, it's cool, it's this and that. Well, yeah, sometimes it's not, mate.
Yeah, it's not.
Like this whole online bullshit they might be doing. We'll wait and see.
There's nothing worse than when a company just, refuses to believe that their shit stinks.
Yeah, good point. And then when they quietly sort of fix it and don't acknowledge it again, it's like, you knew you fucked up.
Yeah.
You don't want to fucking acknowledge it. Exactly right.
At least Microsoft partly owned up with the 360 issues and everything, and particularly after their initial show of the Xbox One, like they thought, we fucked up, we better start resolving this.
Yeah, well, they sort of come out with the One X, I guess, and fixed everything technically and this and that. Nintendo don't need to do that, thankfully, but there's still other things they need to work on.
Yeah.
Well, anything else we can talk about the Switch in its first year? Anything? I think we covered everything. We've got games, the technology, the controllers, upcoming stuff. I mean, there's not much sort of to talk about with that because we don't know what's coming out. I mean, E3 there'll be more. We'll do a super show on E3, I guess, when the E3 rolls around and give our opinions and what's going on with the Electronic Entertainment
So
Expo.
after a year, alive and well, the Switch.
It is, yes.
It'll still have plenty more games coming in for it. We're sure of that.
Oh yeah. It will continue to be a success, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And it will do well. I hope it does well.
Yeah.
It deserves to do well. That's for sure. And it has been, surprisingly, to be honest. I mean, there isn't sort of anything outstanding about the games and stuff, but I think just the fact that it's a solid console and it delivers what it's supposed to, I think is what won people over. Apart from the Xbox One at launch, which was a bit rough. The Switch did not have that at all. Avoided it completely. It's just sort of flown under the radar, be like, here's our offering, and bam, people love it. Even though it costs more than the Xbox and the PS4.
More expensive graphical hardware, and you're talking about better processing.
Yeah, exactly. But doesn't matter, I guess. The portability won people over, and what have you. I guess we'll wrap things up there.
Yeah,
that's
a fair call.
It's a big expo and chat on the Switch. Lots of things to go through its first year. But yeah, overall, it was a success.
Yeah.
Well done to Nintendo, and onwards and upwards from here.
Yeah.
I guess we'll revisit it at E3 when that pops around. I'm sure there'll be some announcements.
Maybe we could do a 2-year anniversary and see where it's at there.
Well, exactly. We'll track its progress from there.
I think that maybe if we do something like that, we can probably talk about the games a bit more, because
there'll be more games coming out surely. Yeah. Maybe we'll start to see certain limitations of it. Like, hopefully not.
Hopefully, I'd love to see some AAA titles like some Call of Duty or something come out on the
That
Switch.
would be
something to talk about, and that's something that does need to happen.
Next step, I guess. It is definitely capable. We've seen Doom on there. Wolfenstein's coming out for it. Just bring out Call of Duty or something.
If you can put Call of Duty on the friggin' PS Vita, you can put it on the Switch. I'm telling you now.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But even if the graphics are cut, even if it's 30 frames a second, it doesn't matter. Just give us the game. Like, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be very cool. Yeah. Well, we'll see what comes out, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll see what the future holds. Well, thank you again for being here at the Midnight Gaming Council, Brad.
No worries at all.
Thank you for pleasure. Thank you for talking about the Switch, your Switch,
no worries.
Your experiences, and we'll catch you guys next time at the Midnight Gaming Council.